So yeah, thanks, Kostas. As Kostas mentioned, I'm talking to you today about my research in terms of using machine learning to classify biometric data from wearable sensors to create novel musical expression within music composition. A little bit about me then. I'm a PhD candidate at Novas, investigating this project to do music composition biometrics in a collaboration between ourselves and the music department and Alliance Manchester Business School. And the whole sort of core goal is to see how biometric data can be used to drive new interactive music processes, whether that's in virtual reality or different modalities. So just in summary, my work looks at how you can use new sort of wearable technologies like this Myo armband here you see on the bottom left that were released in commercially released in about 2015, which gave us access to this unique form of biometrics called electron myographic. Now, electron myographic, as this sort of picture details or shows, measures muscular fluctuation in the arms. You might think, okay, so why is that interesting for music or us as musicians? Well, it's interesting because you can look at on a data level how expressive you are when you play instruments such as guitar, piano, but also how expressive you can be to interact with musical systems on the fly, such as when you play theremin, which is a non-traditional gestural instrument in music. It's exciting to look at this in different modalities because, as I mentioned just, you have new sort of ways of musical expression and therefore new ways to approach composition on a high level. I'll come back to this a little bit more later as to how exactly this pipeline and method works. So the higher level aims of the project, investigating biometrics in music, is number one, is can the processing of such biometric data from wearable sensors contribute to a new or different understanding of self-awareness? Like if you can visualize and hear your biometrics, does that tell you a little bit more about yourself, for example? Second one, can mixed realities using biometrics be used as mediums to compose music? So if I blur the physical with the digital, can that create a new sort of arena for me to compose music within? The third core one is, can composing music in mixed realities using biometrics affect how we perceive musical attributes such as timbre and space, for example? So using biometrics to investigate this this new sort of way of expression in music, why should I use machine learning or sort of be even interested in using machine learning and AI to investigate that? Well, these biometrics are quite complicated forms of data. They're a complicated data set. So supervised machine learning allows us to find patterns within those data sets or gestures, if you will, and render them usable with music systems. Secondly, it increases the efficacy and streamlines the method of interacting with computers through musical gesture. And thirdly, new digital musical interaction becomes possible in different modalities, such as virtual reality, mixed reality, and even augmenting traditional instruments, such as piano, for example. You can see in a little example in this GIF down here of me doing this gesture and the data on the right-hand side fluctuating as I'm performing it in real time. Okay, what's going to show you a video here because my connection's so bad. I think I'm going to send a link into the chat if you'll want to just open up the chat. So the processing method itself, how did I achieve those musical gestures and pair them up with the sort of tracking of biometrics and use them with the music? Well, you get the wearable tech like this picture shows here. You get the biometrics from that. You put them in a processing software, data processing software, which I've created in Max 8, a visual programming environment. You send that processed data set to a machine learning algorithm in Wekinator, which is an open source machine learning software. Then you deploy and map that outcome of the machine learning model into a musical parameter and within a different modality, such as virtual reality or violin performance, or even digital violin performance. Oops, skip forward a little bit here. So far, the outcomes of the project have resulted in 5 sort of pieces using this technology, a few articles, an award for the theoretical approach to the research, and a few musical performances performed in different places in the world. So I wanted to reserve this little part for a very quick demonstration. If I start my video now and attempt it, let's just hope it works. So I'll start my video now. Okay, let's just test that again. Did you hear that?
Yes.
Yeah, great.
Yes.
Okay. We're good to go. Right, let's try this again. Okay. Okay, that time, hopefully everyone got that. Okay, so just off the base of that demonstration, my sort of future work will look at building upon this sort of navigation of how do I pair musical gesture with new ways of interacting with modality, using new sort of forms of AI. Right now I'm looked at using like supervised machine learning to predict gesture and therefore create X or Y outcome. But I'd like to deploy more sophisticated unsupervised AI to be an independent collaborator in that sense. And also send biometrics over networks with people to see what can happen. Okay, I'll finish it there. Thank you very much for listening. And yeah.